Hey everyone, Pastor George here, and for today's 365th Theolog, that means a whole year of Theologs. You could watch them one a day, every day of the year, and you'd have a whole year of content from me, based on this thing I started during the pandemic, which is pretty cool. Um, just to think about it. And so I wanted to do something fun today instead of talking like about a deep or whatever heady topic. I wanted to look at what I want to call my greatest hits. And what that is the most disliked videos that I've posted on this channel. Uh, and I used the YouTube Studio was kind of helpful for this. They allow you to look at a lot of different analytics and stuff. And so what I used views to dislikes. So like if although they're very few when they're like this, but let's say I had a video with only like 17 views and it was like more than half disliked on that. But I had a video with like 400 views that had, like less than half dislikes, but really more people disliked that than the other one. I counted the one that had the more views. So basically it's my greatest hits in terms of ones that got exposure and also were the ones that people didn't like the most. And so this is I'm excited to do this. And so we're going to do the top three, and we're going to go from the bottom up, and it's going to be kind of a retrospective. And yeah, I'm just excited to do this. So my third most disliked video was Theolog number 241, God Bless the USA Bible, where I talked about this Bible that had come out that was like full of like patriotism and things like that. And essentially my critique of that thing is that it ended up drawing too much of a connection between the Bible and the nation state of the United States. And in the video, I didn't think I said anything that crazy or whatever. Basically, all I said was, hey, the United States isn't a nation. It was a nation absolutely founded on Christian ideas and by people who were molded and shaped in that environment, but it isn't a Christian nation in the sense of like all of the founding fathers were deep Christians and intended it to be some sort of, church and state type thing, right? Well, apparently a lot of people didn't really like that, and it got over 100 views. And when it gets to that level, it means it leaves outside of our church, right? Most of the ones that stay within our church are the ones that get, and the surrounding is like 40. Once it gets beyond that, it gets picked up in the YouTube algorithm, which means random people can find it or finding it pop up on their feed, which is kind of exciting, especially for some of our bigger videos that get up into the 400s and things like that. So that one was number 3. That one people didn't like all that much, probably because it had a political edge to it, and people who support that type of thing might have been YouTubing USA Bible or whatever and seen my video. So that's an interesting one. The second one is the one that I've gotten death threats over, which is great. I love that. This is Theolog number 227, Richard Spencer, Racism and Apologetics. And Richard Spencer is this big racist guy who had posted something on Twitter, and I used the video to react to it. And it's one of our most disliked videos on the channel, and it also is one of our most watched videos on the channel. I think it's in the top 10. And it's essentially just me saying, hey, he posted something about how Jesus, things about Jesus are made up or whatever, and I responded to that, and I said the whole point is that like Christianity is a big target of racists because they don't like the fact that it's anti-race and not caring a lot about ethnicity, but caring a lot more about what people believe, right? It doesn't matter where you're from. So that's also pretty major one that made some waves. And the last one that I have here is one that I posted recently, and I'll let you guess to see what it was. What my most disliked video that I've ever posted in terms of not only just the number of dislikes, but the percentage of the watch crowd who disliked it. So just think for like 2 seconds. All right, so if you would have guessed Theolog number 358, Pastor reacts to super woke, amazingly diverse Amazon Lord of the Rings (mailbag) parentheses, then you would be right. Because that's my most disliked video ever on this channel, and I think it has to do with the fact that it's one, clickbait, because it's not me talking about that at all. I basically looked at all of the headlines and like what was going on Twitter that day, and everyone was complaining and fighting over the new Amazon Lord of the Rings series, and so I hadn't gotten any questions for mailbag, and so I decided to just be a little bit of a imp and make a video titled that, and I thought it was really really funny. But apparently a lot of people didn't, uh, and I don't know. I was hoping that people would understand that it's a joke, because I basically just laugh at people who would bother getting worked up over something like this, whether you're for it or against it. And then I say to send me mailbag things, and people did not like it at all. And I think, but I still think it's really funny. So whatever, I don't care. I don't have to be well liked by people. Some people don't have a good sense of humor. What can you say? Um, and basically, the reason I decided to do this with my top three least liked vids is because it would be easy to do a retrospective and go back and see like which of my videos were the most successful that people really liked, that I got feedback and commentary on and stuff like that. Ones that I'm like most proud of or whatever. But really, what I want this to be is, in some small way, all of these videos are public, and to be a lesson for everyone that you can be bold in your proclamation of what you believe. You can go out there and tell people like, this is what I think about such and such a thing, and to be open to people disagreeing with you, and understand that if you're rooted correctly, that's not going to bother you if people don't like what you have to say. It might, kind of be a little upsetting, but at the end of the day, our opinions aren't driven, should not be driven by the feelings of the crowd or of the mob, but instead based on what we believe is true and good. And for Christians, that for me comes from the Bible. And so if I say things that make racist people mad and they tank our video and send me death threats, I don't really care. Um, if I end up saying something about the Bible being a separate and better thing than the United States of America and people get mad, I don't care, right? If I make fun of Lord of the Rings because it's not very well written and people in our culture are turning everything into a war, and I get attacked for that, I don't care, because my uh, feelings about myself do not come from popularity or from what other people think of me, but from who I know as uh, a, an adopted son of God. And so I think that that's something that's really important for all of us to know, especially Christians, but even for non Christians, that you can be free of these popularity things that we often uh, use as determiners for our life. So I want to thank you all for watching over this. I'm going to continue with the normal Theolog schedule, but I'm going to do something new in the new year, which is I'm going to move to one episode a week on Thursdays, where I'm going to combine topic and mailbag into one, rather than having to upload two different ones, when I could kind of just do a longer video that's about 15 minutes. And of course, still having time to make special videos that I like to make on certain things. So I just yeah, just thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. And of course, peace out.